During this week's video, we build custom front radiator supports on the OBS truck, and it looks like a truck again. Welcome back to the channel. We have an issue. Our front clip doesn't fit on our OBS wrecker. If you're new to the channel, we are building an off-road wrecker. And if you haven't seen the previous videos, make sure you go check those out. We got a whole playlist for this OBS off-road wrecker. But this video's issue is we need to put the front clip on because we have a 2004 frame and an 88 cab not meshing together. Last video on this project, you saw us do the body mounts on the cab. We're going to do the same thing for the front of this clip. Let me show you what I'm thinking. Currently, the front clip to the pickup does not line up with the body mounts from the 2004. So my thought is to just hack this body mount off, and we'll use some of this leaf spring hanger that we have when we did the solid axle swap and make new mounts similar to the body mounts that we made on the cab.
Please like and subscribe.
Because we still have a lot of body mounts to use. This is that kit from a Super Duty that we bought off of Amazon for $60+. We still have a lot of hardware left. So let's use some of these bushings and hardware and make something work for the front clip of this radiator support. So first off, let's go cut those factory mounts off that frame. Well, that idea is a bust. As you saw in the video, I pie cut the old factory mount and just hammered it down to see if we could reuse the old factory mount. But you can see I got a shim here, so I can only fit maybe a finger width in there. So our body mount would have to be that thin, which is doable. I could just get away with a thick piece of rubber and stick in here, but then let me bring you closer. So we could put a thin piece of rubber in here and drill a hole through, but the problem is now the hole's here and not over the factory spot. So we'd have to build a plate over the top anywho. So at that point, we might just cut it out, start over, put some thicker metal in there. I don't even know what this is, thin. So we'll cut the factory one out, we'll keep cutting, cut both of them out this time. And we can set the other side down as well, because right now it's a little janky because we did not cut the other side. I just wanted to make sure to see if this worked or not, but it ain't. So we'll finish cutting this out, but I found something that is not good news. Let me show you. It's over here. So we got a cross member that comes through. Yeah, you can kind of see it in here. The cross member doesn't look too bad. Reusable until it's not. You look in here. So these are the perches that we made for the leaf springs. So now I'm thinking about cutting this out. So I might be cutting the frame out a little bit, removing this cross member, and then maybe tying this section here back inside. So kind of shape it like this to tie the two frame rails together. But not in this video. I'm not gonna get distracted. I'm gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna put my body mounts on here on this front clip, and my thought is that we could put a winch plate under there first and then cut out that old cross member. Then we wouldn't lose any of this going on, which I don't think we will because we did not cut this IFS cross member out yet, which that looks like it's gonna be a future problem as well. Again, we're staying focused. Okay, more cutting. Look at that. It's so shiny and pretty. It's like there was nothing ever there. I gotta do the other side. Then we can start building some mounts. Look what I discovered. I just cleaned the floor up and I was looking on the floor and there's some wet spots. And I'm like, what's wet? There's no motor. And then I look a little closer and the bushing is leaking. So somehow water is getting in here because this frame was sitting outside all winter. So it looks like we're gonna have to put some, one of those greasy jobbers right there. Take the water out with grease. But again, that's a different day. Look what else I'm pretty proud of. I put that shield up there because I was grinding this bracket off. And then I looked over there and my pizza maker and my TV is getting all hit with sparks and gunk. After we cut the other side off, we will start building our new mount. Check it out. It looks like a truck again. Got both factory body mounts cut off the front. We got the front clip bolted on. It's a little tight on the passenger side, so we can adjust that with our custom body mounts that we're going to be putting on there. So that's the next step, is to put some body mounts on the front of this radiator support. We're getting one step closer, getting this thing out in the woods and doing some recoveries. Let's make some body mounts with that 4-inch channel that we have, that we made the body mounts on the main cab for. We're going to build the same type of brackets that we did on the body mounts for this radiator support. That's going to be another day for me. I got church tonight. This will have to continue real soon, especially for you. Well, it's a new day and I've been out here for probably an hour trying to center the front of this clip, making sure I have the cab centered. It is off a 1/4 inch forward on the driver's side. So I grabbed the old cat leash and try to do the center of the front clip with the cab. It's looking pretty center, even though the front of the frame kicks in a little bit on this driver's side. The radiator support is playing tricks with me too, because you would think that cross member right there would be center, which it is kind of center, maybe a 1/4 inch over. So I measured the cab there to this with a square. Now I'm cross-eyed.
I can cross one eye.
Can we say it?
Yeah, ready?
Wow.
That's talent.
That's amazing. That's memeable right there.
Right? That's gonna be me.
And measurements aren't all lining up, and I'm about a 1/4 of an inch off on the front of that clip too. I also was sitting out here trying to use what we got, all these bushings that I want to try to use up because we have them. Was sitting here playing with these bushings to try to make it fit in this factory hole, but it uses a special bushing that comes down through here and underneath, similar to these, but with a much smaller one with this lip on there that would fit in that cup. Similar to this, but much smaller to fit in this hole. This hole's a little bit further away on the driver's side to the frame than the passenger side, which I just can't wrap my head around it because I do have the front clip centered. So that's where I've been battling with myself in measurements, because I'm putting a 88 cab on a 2004 frame. You're gonna have that kind of stuff. So I couldn't buy those bushings, like I said, for 50 bucks, but I'm not gonna go that route. I'm gonna try to make these bushings work. And here is another reason. Because if we're gonna make brackets like this on the frame, similar up here, the hole right there is right over this perch mount that we made for the leaf spring. So I really want to make another one of these for up here, so it can come in here, the channel can come in here and strengthen this, because the rust in here, and we'll box in the front later, but this would strengthen this area and this perch mount quite a bit. But the problem is the hole would come up through here and not the factory location, which again isn't a problem. We just have to drill a new hole in that radiator.
Plans change.
But now here, you know, looking at this again, and I changed my mind. We are going back to the factory holes. Let me show you what I'm thinking. Here's the bolt from the kit that we have, the bushings from the F250 in the factory hole. Before I was talking about drilling a hole in here and moving the bushing, the mount out here, but then I have the tire to worry about if it's gonna rub in here, and I'd rather have the bushing further in from the wheel than possible. Plus I have the radiator in here, so the core on the side would actually hang down and might touch that bolt even though the bushing's there. So me being long-winded again, I changed my mind. Still using those Ford bushings because I'm cheap and we have them. Plus this body or frame is twisted. I was telling you it was a 1/4 inch off. So I used a ratchet strap inside the frame, and we were able to pull the front clip in to match the driver's side, and we threw a little shim underneath there to give it the same gap that is down on the driver's side. So we should be sitting pretty to build our brackets. We are gonna have to get a little creative with the C-channel, because if you look here, the C-channel will probably go into our perch bracket a little bit, which isn't bad, but we'll have to probably trim and notch that bracket out over on this side to make it work in here. Now I feel good on pulling some measurements because we are centered side to side. We have our hole locations. Now I know how much to cut that seam channel to make brackets, to make body mount brackets. So now we can cut. So we got our upper piece cut with the hole in it and notched out to fit on our shackle mount like such. Wait, you can't see that. It'll fit on there like that. Remember, our bushings that are supposed to go in this radiator support actually fit down in this big hole. So if you remember right, the bushing, there's a special bushing that fits down in this bigger hole. in the radiator support. So we're just gonna go with a bigger washer and a washer on the bottom, because the hole on the bottom is quite a bit bigger. By putting this washer on there, I'm gonna put it underneath and tack weld it, so then our hole stays center, similar to how we did the body. So I'm gonna mock that up now. But the problem is I got this fender washer and it's probably 1/8 of an inch too big to actually fit down in this, which this is a hole, so I gotta try to fit this down in here. But look at it, it doesn't fall all the way in. I want it to go all the way down in there, and then it would lock and center this to come under here to center this washer. And then we'll tack weld that under here, so then we have a true center hole for our forward bushing. So let me grind that washer down a little bit so it fits in that hole, and we'll have to bring that welder around and tack the bottom, then move on from there. That $48 or whatever for that bushing kit is looking a little bit better right now. Well, I made that bracket. Looks pretty good from here. Good 5-footer. Get a little closer. And I went and made a mistake. Bad measuring. Look at the gap. It's a finger length. That's a finger length. So this is a decision between what is right and what I'm probably gonna do. The right thing to do would be to build another bracket and make it better. What I'm probably gonna do is try to fill it in some metal and welds. But we gotta build this bottom piece, so let's build that piece better. And maybe just things will magically shrink when we do this.
Okay.
No, that's not gonna happen. But anyways, let's try. Well, it's a new day. I just put the camera down last night and finished putting those mounts on. And I had to put the hood and the front grille on. It's looking like a truck. So I'm getting pretty motivated to put the doors on, put the tires on. Not the ones that we're gonna be using on the truck, but the ones to keep this rolling. Put this outside and see what it looks like out in the daylight for the first time. Because remember, this body never belonged on this frame. So I went to O'Reilly's, got some door pins. So let's throw the doors on, get the wheels on this, and see what we can do to get this to look more like a truck every time we work on it. Future off-road wrecker. But that might not be for a couple days. This is the first time I've videoed, like 3 videos right now. I'm doing the bleeping cart, the Willys pickup that we just picked up, and this project, all in the same amount of time. So I got a lot of videoing going back and forth. So I actually have to run to my dad's shop because we sold a Corsica for a demo car, but I really want the seats out of it because they're mint and they will fit in my Cutlass. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna pull the seats from the Cutlass, and that's going in the bleeping cart. So there's a lot going on. You'll see all those videos eventually, or if you have already. I'll see how far I can get with the doors until I gotta go get those seats. But first I should probably remove all my storage in this cab and go find the wheels. We have the doors on, we got the hood on, got the front grille on, got the front tires. It's off the jack stands, and man, it looks good. I know I told you guys that I was gonna pull this outside so we could get a better look at it, but it's getting dark, it's raining, sprinkling, drizzling. The weather is not ideal, but it's looking so good. These moments in the projects really get a guy motivated to keep going because you start piecing it back together. We don't even have the big tires on it yet. We gotta address the rear because it's got the Carolina squat going on right now.
I'm not gonna be here.
But we're gonna address the rear in a couple of different ways without a lift kit. So make sure you stay tuned for those updates. But for now, we're just gonna wheel this girl out, flip it around, and we're gonna start working on the rear. And remember, we have a boom to put on this wrecker as well. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time.